take first question up here in the front.
Hey Pascal, how's it going? Hello. Scott Campbell with The Score. Obviously, this will be finals appearance number 2 for you. I was curious if you see any similarities between the 2019 Raptors team and the current Pacers team you're on.
I feel like I've been asked this question a lot. I think you got to be a great team to get to the finals. I think it's 2 great teams. Obviously different in a lot of ways, but also just some similarities in terms of just like playing the game the right way, having some level of defense, which ultimately gets to winning, and I think a mix of veterans and also young players, which I thought we had also back in 2019. So it's different in a lot of ways, but also some similarities.
Michael here in the front.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet, and a little bit on that theme. First of all, congratulations on that Finals award. You were one of the young guys. Now you're a vet, and maybe do you find yourself kind of drawing on some of the experiences you had alongside Kawhi or alongside Kyle, just as the playoffs get deeper and deeper? Do some of those lessons resonate even more than they used to?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think one of the things for me I learned, just from those guys is like no matter what, we just always felt like we had a chance. And when we got down, we're down 0-2 against Milwaukee. Like we've had a series where it was really tough, and we had to go in Philly and win games on the road, and I think all those experiences kind of definitely stays with me, and trying to transfer that spirit to my team in terms of being down or whatever in the game or whatever happens, just always playing the right way and understanding that you always have a chance. So that's something that obviously I learned from those guys for sure.
Fifth row on the right.
Myron Patton, OKC Sports Radio. You guys got off to a slow start with season 10 and 15, but at the beginning of the year really turned things around. What led to the big turnaround, and what are those things you think will help you in this series?
No, I thought obviously starting the year we didn't start the way we wanted to. We had a lot of guys in and out of the lineups, some injuries, some things, and I just thought we stuck to the plan. We just continued to be ourselves, and when we had everyone back healthy, we just started playing good basketball, playing together, defense improved, and just a lot of things that you need as a team to be able to be successful. So I thought we started rocky, but we just stayed steady and just kept being ourselves, and eventually we got better.
That's Barry Heaney for NBA Daily. A lot of people are asking about the 2019 finals, but it's been 6 seasons since then, and I'm wondering for yourself, that journey that you've had from that first finals run to now this one, what have you learned about yourself and your game and how you've developed over the last 6 years?
Yeah, I mean it's been an incredible journey. I would say a lot of tough times for sure, and just learning from adversity. I thought it just wasn't kind of always pretty, which I think made me who I am, and just being in this moment now where I can just know that I've been through like almost everything as a player, and a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and that's just all makes the journey sweeter, and for me, I enjoy all those moments, and it makes me just appreciate everything even more, and just play freely out there.
On your right, Mark Spears.
Mark Spears, ESPN's Landscape. How do you compare your journey and the amazing obstacles you've made to get to the NBA versus what African players and the resources they have now? And also, what kind of role model are you for, aspiring African players to get to the NBA?
Yeah, no, it's been interesting. I think for me, coming in as a young player, just not really having played any basketball really, having to learn on the fly, and I think at that time it was mostly like when you was a big guy from Cameroon, you just came in and you was big and you ran and you dunked, that's pretty much what it was. And I think for me, I can see that evolving now, with guys my size being able to do different things, and now with the NBA going in Africa, like it's just there's just so much more development, and guys are getting a lot better, and the skills are being learned early on. Something that I had to do really late in my career. So it's evolving, and I hope I can be one of those guys that some young guys can look at and be like, look at his journey and the things that he's able to accomplish and how he did it, and they can take it as an example. Like I really don't look at myself like, oh, I'm a role model or anything, but I just feel like you can look at my journey and be like, man, like he did it, and he did it the hard way, and there was no shortcuts, and someone that gave everything, just worked hard, put his head down, and no matter the obstacles, and he just kept working, and I think that's something I want to tell young players. It's not going to be easy. Nobody's going to give you anything. You're probably going to have less opportunity because you come from where you come from, and as long as you understand the odds against yourself, and that you just go out there, no nonsense, you just work on your game, I think you can accomplish big things. So I hope that they can look at my journey and be like, yeah, that's someone that did it that way.
Over here on your left, third row.
Jamal Collier from ESPN. I have two quick ones for you, Pascal. The first one about relationship with Tyrese and just how you've seen that grow and develop in the year and a half since you've been here.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I remember when I first got here, and we got on the phone, we talked, and there was just like a mutual understanding about just what we want to accomplish. It's all about winning, and for me, I was just kind of excited that we have that same mindset. We just didn't care about nothing else but winning, and I think that's something that draw us to each other, and just for me, just being that presence that he can have, someone that he can talk to, that's been in these situations before, and for me as a player, being out there with someone that's selfless and just plays the game the right way, and it feels great, he's a great person to be around, and also a great player to play with, and I think that's our relationship has been growing, and we definitely have the same mindset.
And then just you guys haven't lost the back-to-back games since March, and I think Tyrese has said a couple of times that the film sessions in between can get like pretty brutal, pretty honest, sort of pointing out mistakes. Just what are those film sessions like with Rick Carlisle after a loss? Kind of what do you think makes him so good at making adjustments?
I think we just look at ourselves, it's like the film is there, it doesn't lie, right? So you look at it and you see what you can do better, and just being honest about what we need to do to get better. And I'm glad that the guys been able to just turn the page on whatever has happened before and just move on.
Last two. Third row over here on the right, and second row.
Hey Pascal, Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. You and the Pacers and the Thunder have the two best records since January 1st, yet the Thunder are a decided favorite in this series. Do you look at them as this historically great team, this huge undertaking and challenge, or do you see this as more of a series that's evenly matched? Like, how do you view this coming in?
I think we focus on ourselves. Like, I think I don't think we expect anyone to pick us, and that's been like that the whole playoffs. It's been like that the whole season. So I think for us, nothing really changes. We just continue to be ourselves, focus on us, and it's always been us against everyone, so it doesn't change.
Last one on your right.
Alexandre Tournier de RDS, question en français pour toi, Pascal. Qu'est-ce que ça te fait d'être de retour dans la finale pour la première fois en 6 ans? Et à quel point ton expérience de 2019, justement, va être bénéfique pour toi cette année?
Ouais, ça fait très plaisir d'être revenu à ce stage-ci. Je me rappelle de très belle mémoire de 2019 et de ce qu'on a pu accomplir à Toronto et avec mon équipe. Donc ouais, ça fait très plaisir de revenir à ce niveau-ci. Et aussi de savoir que ouais, pour mon équipe, c'est un plus d'avoir quelqu'un qui est déjà arrivé à ce niveau-ci, qui a déjà vu tout ce qui se passe. Donc ouais, ça fait très plaisir d'être ici. Et puis, on espère que ça va nous aider en équipe.
Thank you. Miles Turner will be right up.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man.